Welcome to the Subconscious Mind Mastery Podcast. Thomas Miller, thanks for joining us. We're back for part 2, this thing that occurred to me personally over at Lake Junaluska, right around the July 4th, 2022 holiday weekend. Because this is part 2, it really is important to listen to podcast 296, The Moment Divine Love Flowed, to get the background or the setup for this. So just presuming that we're picking up from there. What I described there occurred on Thursday evening. So now we're moving forward to Saturday midday. It's the holiday weekend, July 4th, the 246th birthday of America, and the lake, in their typical fashion, are just having some amazing events during the weekend. So one of these was a big band concert. I'm not kidding. Outdoors by the lake. I counted 20 people. There were 20 musicians in a band that reminded me like Lawrence Welk. You know, when the trumpets were playing, they'd stand up. When the saxophones were playing, it was so cool. And they played some wonderful tunes, mostly from the 50s, 60s, 70s, some back into the big band days of the 40s. It was just cool. So I went back with obviously the trepidation, if you will, of, wow, is it still there? What will happen this time, etc. I think some of this is just trusting in the process, trusting in the flow of the walk of energy and spirit. It is a different path. It's something that we have to step into and fold into. And, when we get comfortable with a zone within our own journey, and then we move to another zone, we have to get comfortable with that zone. Bob Proctor called it the terror barrier. It's that bridge between what we know and what we don't know, and to get from what we know to what we don't know every time. It's a recurring pattern or cycle. We have to go through the terror barrier, the fear of learning something new, the relative insecurity of leaving something comfortable. At what point in our development as a child do we no longer need our blankie? And that was really what came here. So as I went back, oh gosh, that's what a transition. So as I went back, I was just being present, and I was listening to the music and enjoying it, and started just looking around at the crowd and that prevailing theme of love. Loving awareness, my little song from Ram Dass. If you get on and search, YouTube has it, but the music players have it too. There's a song by Krishna Das and Ram Dass called I Am Loving Awareness. And that was really kind of what it was. Ram Dass says, I see the world through the eyes of love and am able to get to the point where you love everything you are aware of. So I was looking around at the crowd. And what came was just this neutrality of non-judgment acceptance that everybody there is living out the human experience as best they/we can. And I just thought about it. It was almost like the perspective of an alien coming down with some knowledge of the planet. You know what these humans are kind of about, but you really don't know fully. So you end up at a band concert beside a lake on a Saturday afternoon, and you're sitting there with one of the humans observing what's going on. And you watch, and when a song ends, the humans put their hands together, and they make noise. And the alien looks over and is like, what in the world is going on? And you tell the alien, well, that's what we do. We clap. We clap when we have an expression in our heart, or really, to me, as I was feeling it and watching it and just kind of laughing about it from this perspective, why do we do that? Why is that human? Why is it human to want to go to a band concert outdoors on Saturday afternoon? Because we love that kind of entertainment. It's fun. I was looking past the band out at the lake, and there were people paddleboarding out there and kayaking. Why do we do that? Why do we go out and float around on water? Because to us humans, that's fun. It brings us joy. So when the band plays a nice song that brings back good memories, We make noise with our hands, and that expresses our heart. And I thought, that's really the chest chakras just being moved out into what we can do something with, right? It's like the joy that we feel in our heart and our solar plexus is expressed out. Some people yell, some people whistle, but typically, right, we put our hands together and make noise. It's being human. We like firecrackers on the 4th of July. It's being human. I looked at families, and I saw a family sitting together, and I looked at the husband, and I said, man, you are doing a great job. Keep it together. And I looked at single people doing life, experiencing the human existence by themselves, or maybe their spouse is away doing something else. I looked at the young humans and the old humans, both equally human, both fully experiencing what it is. And then I thought, how many people, because I walk that trail around the lake so much, and I've been, especially since the day that the last podcast happened, 296, I've been saying hi to people. Hi, happy 4th of July. How are you doing? Have a great walk, this kind of thing. And you get people that will engage back, but a lot of people are just stoic. They won't even respond. They won't even look at you. And then you have some that are just like, I remember this one lady on Friday. I was walking around again on Friday, and this one lady, I crossed her twice, and she was with her husband. They were in their 60s, I'm guessing. And boy, she was not only not look, not gesture, not move her face, but you could tell physically upset that I was interrupting them. So I'm sitting here looking at this expression of being human through this new lens of this full openness, right? This bliss, this higher perspective of not even being from Earth. And I thought, what is it then to really be human and play full out? And I realized, just looking around the faces in the crowd and not being judgmental, but you see when somebody is wearing the pain of the scars of the past. And we are inhibited because of things that have happened in our past. We're conditioned. We're scared. We've been hurt. I would even extend it past this life. Things we bring with us. So I was thinking, what would it take to risk playing full out in the game of being human? And of course, I started thinking for myself, what holds me back? What would I have to do differently in order to absolutely, in every way, at all times, be fully human and also fully connected with the I am within? I thought, man, that would be living fully alive. So would that mean taking extra risks? Or would it mean shoring up risks and being a little more careful and cautious? Would it mean doing things that I typically would not maybe do, like maybe going over there and renting one of those paddle boards, not with a swimsuit on, just to say, in the moment, I'm going to go join these paddle boarders because it looks fun. And I might fall off of the thing. I'm pretty clumsy like that. So what if I did? My clothes are all wet. So what? Learning a new skill, if nothing else, just for the heck of it. What about, this is a good one, just being fully present, not distracted by the electronics? And then if I decided that I was going to use this holiday weekend to try to begin to play full out in other areas not normally done, how long would it take to revert back into the old ways? That vortex is pretty strong, One of the things about being human, it takes us a while, 30 to 45 to 60 days to break or change a habit. We are habitual creatures. So maybe this idea of playing full out also includes changing habits more frequently. In fact, I wonder if you did that more often, would that window of time required, I guess it would depend on the habit, wouldn't it? Would that window of time shorten? That's one of Fred's big deals is don't get stuck in a rut. Don't do things over and over and over forever. Change it up. Then I had another observation, and I thought as I was looking around that crowd, can I accept and live with others while they are playing full out in their own journey, even if it's not my journey? just respecting that it is theirs, not mine, but that it is completely theirs. And in whatever context or with whatever tools they have, they're doing their absolute best. And that's where Ram Dass's song kicks in. Oh, I wish the copyright gurus would let me play it for you. I'd love for you to hear it, but maybe you can pop it up. It's on YouTube if you want the quickest place to get it. Spotify, Apple Music, all those others, Amazon, you can find it. But to say, I am loving awareness, loving everything I'm seeing, even if it is radically different than what I would do if I were just given my own environment and constraints. And you know what that led to was just a beautiful realization of the tapestry of the human experience. And then one more thought, and we'll close with this. How do we play fully human and not get burned? You know, it's easier than ever to go out there and maybe get involved with another group of people trying to play full out with all the right intentions and purposes. And you get mixed up with lower and different energies. And the energies are all of a sudden incompatible, but it's after maybe you're on the short end of the stick. And then what came to mind was the I word, intuition. So it's like we're given this capability that we have to develop, but it's there, that if we tune into it, it will show us how to play full out within the lines. And I realize how many people still, a lot of people, I realize this, and that's what is going to happen next, is we're going to do a series on intuition. What it is, how to find it, how to connect with it, what if you don't, how to harness it when you do, and above all, when it shows up, take old Thomas's advice and just do it, follow it, don't question it, don't argue with it, don't debate it, don't think you know a better way. That is your highest self keeping you on your soul purpose, your soul path, and also keeping you out of danger. Problem is, we think we know a better way. Usually we end up rolling right off of the cliff. Makes those Roadrunner cartoons come true. Old Wile E. Coyote, man, there he goes again, and somehow he's back. Well, that's kind of us not following intuition. We hit the anvil, and then the next scene is, okay, now we're back, and bam, we hit or we fall off the thing. And it's like, if we would just listen to the intuitive pulses, we wouldn't have to go through all of that. Well, to me, that's how we can play full out, uninhibited, enjoying the entire human experience and be protected at the same time. Are you prompted to do something? Does it just feel right? Or Malcolm Gladwell, I love Blink. You know me, I love, love, love Blink. What was your first pulse, your first impression? That was your blink, and the blink never changes. The first impression is the lasting first impression. When we start to argue with it, or we start to acknowledge, should I do this? Should I not do that? Oh, I was just thinking too aggressively, or I was just trying to take on too much, or I really shouldn't. That's stepping out of my comfort zone. That's too much. That's all the analysis that comes after the blink. If the blink said go, then go. If the blink said stop, then stop. And really, the next action should be just moving in that direction. And that's it. And then keep moving in that direction. When people join our Facebook group, the Subconscious Mind Mastery and Fun Astrology Podcast Listeners Group on Facebook, there are 4 questions. One of them is, what are you here to learn? And I capture every one of those, and I write them down in a notes program that I have right here on my computer. They're all anonymous. I do not attach a name to them. I just copy the comment and paste it in here. So I'll just read you some of the latest ones. Negativity, negative thoughts, anxiety, that was all one. Knowing my purpose and walking in it to help others in their journey. Somebody said addiction, sense of unworthiness, stinking thinking, living my highest timeline. I love that one. Overcoming self-sabotage. See, these are all podcast topics. These are all things that we can talk about together. That's why that question is there, and that's why I keep this list. One of the ones that comes up more than any other, I would say, or at least as much as any other, is intuition. So I don't have to glance far down the list. Listening to my intuition without fear. Somebody else says it a different way. I'm trying to find what the direction is that I should take in life. Direction is a big one for people, and intuition will always show you the next step. Won't show you the whole thing, just show you the next step. You have to have the faith to step into that, blindly sometimes. So we're going to spend some focused time on intuition coming up in the next episodes. You know, something I've been doing for the last, 4, 5, 6 months probably, is playing that Ram Dass song over and over and over. I am loving awareness. I wanted that to sink into my consciousness. Maybe that had something to do with all of this. I don't know. Maybe it was time to take on something new, a different level. Maybe it's just growth. But I would encourage you to think about playing full out, experiencing others just as they are, and thinking of yourself as this eternal, conscious being who came here specifically to this place to be with other humans to play full out. So as far as being a fully alive human being, what's holding you back? And what could you do differently? And how is your intuition guiding you? And you know, probably in listening to this, one little thing has come up that you have probably thought to yourself, man, I should do this. That would be the next thing. Start now. You already know what it is. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, my heart just gushes love for each one of you. I see your faces while I'm recording these episodes, and I'm sending you my heart and my love. Thank you for listening, and wow, enjoy the journey.